Hey everyone, Stoner Van Hound here. It is January 9th, 2025. Right on. Alright, so today's video is about Bobby Beausoleil being granted parole. And before I start, I just want to say, man, I just want to, everybody could just say a prayer for all the people down in Los Angeles who lost their homes and everything that's going on down there. It's insane. It's actually hell. So just give your positive vibes and your prayers for everybody in Los Angeles, please. All right, so this video is about Bobby Beausoleil being granted parole. Now, first of all, before I start the video, I want to make clear about something. The video, okay, it's about Bobby Beausoleil being granted parole, but really this video is really more about rehabilitation, and I believe in rehabilitation. I really do. I really believe you can be rehabilitated, and you aren't necessarily always going to be the person you were in the beginning. People can change. Now, I'm not going to say everybody, but people, a majority of people, probably yourself, people that are watching this video, you've changed, myself included. Can we get a little softer light on that fucking, there you go. So that's what this video really is about. It's about rehabilitation. I honestly believe, look, I went to prison myself. I've done 7 years in prison, 5 on the first term, 2 on the second term. I've done bad things. You have to do bad things to go to prison, people. Don't ask me what, but just trust me that you do bad things. And that's the way it is. But then you get rehabilitated and you are not the person that you were. I'm not on dope. I'm not the same person who I was. And I've been out of prison now since 2011 because I've decided to become the Spawn Ranch worker and take on this topic that is very morbid and hardcore for a lot of people, but for me, it actually has saved my life, and I can only speak for myself. So that's my form of rehabilitation, is that I found something in my life that I could use to help me not go back to prison, because if I was not doing this show, I would be in prison. And I found a way. Now, I know it's the Manson family, Spawn Ranch, and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of you are probably thinking, why couldn't you pick sports? Why couldn't you pick any? Like, why this topic? Like, why this? Well, it's because I live in Chatsworth. Lived right across the street from Spawn Ranch. It was very easy. And plus, true crime is a huge topic. True crime and, like I've said this before in other videos, true crime and chasing ghosts. And I wasn't going to run around cemeteries chasing ghosts like Scooby-Doo. So I decided to do true crime. And the Manson family's right there. I was in Chatsworth, California. There you go. It's right there. It was that simple. And now here I am, 13 years later, Spawn Ranch worker. And, and I'm not the person that I was. I've been rehabilitated. Now, with that said, the one thing you have to remember when somebody is sent to prison and they're given like life with the possibility of parole, that's not on the person. That's on the state of California. Here's one thing that I just want everyone to understand. The Manson family were sentenced to, now I don't know about Bobby Beausoleil, but the Manson family were sentenced to death. They were sentenced to death. And they were on death row for a couple of years. And then in 1972, California decided to get rid of it and just give everybody life with the possibility of parole. And here's where California makes, in some people's opinion, a big mistake. Like, why did you give them, life with the possibility of parole? Why didn't you just say life without parole? And there you go. And there would never be any of those interviews that you'd see with Manson. There would be no court TV. There'd be none of that stuff if they would have gotten life without the possibility of parole. Now, you have to understand, people, don't get mad at Bobby Beausoleil. Don't get mad at Bobby Beausoleil. If you're going to get mad at anybody, get mad at the state of California for putting the regulation on Bobby saying, hey, look, we're going to give you life with the possibility of parole. Meaning, if you do this, this, and this while you're in prison, you will be evaluated by people we feel are qualified to evaluate you. This board, parole board of people, and they went to college and they graduated Kappa Gamma, whatever it is. Who gives a fuck? But you know what I mean? But in the state of California's eyes, they're going to be viewed upon as like, these people are qualified to assess whether or not you are, whether or not you're a threat to the public. That's really what it is. And if they decide that you're not a threat to the public and they want to release you, then that's on them. That's not on Bobby. And it's not on Leslie. And it's not on Lynette. And it's not on fucking Steve Grogan. Now, you have to remember, Manson family members have been released before. Please remember this, people. Steve Grogan was released in 1986. Lynette Fromey, she was released in 2009. Leslie Van Houten, she was released in 2023. Was it 2023? Yeah, I think it's, God, how long has she been out now? She's been out over a year now. I think she was, 2023. Leslie Van Houten. So you have members of the Manson family who have been paroled. So don't act like they've never paroled a Manson family member. Yes, they have. Steve Grogan, Lynette Fromey, Leslie Van Houten. Now you have Bobby Beausoleil. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, they let Leslie out, they'll probably let Bobby out. That's not necessarily true. Man, Leslie's situation is completely different. She had to sue the state of California to get out. That's what she did. She sued California. Remember, she had a great attorney, Richard Pfeiffer, and that guy is fucking phenomenal. Bobby doesn't have that. Bobby right now, it's in the hands of Gavin Newsom, and I think we all know what Gavin Newsom's pretty much going to do. He's going to veto it and say, no, and Bobby, you have to stay there. So, yes, Bobby Beausoleil was granted parole, but now it's going to sit on the governor's desk for like the next 180 days, whatever the hell it is, and he'll probably say no. Now, listen. I know some of you are probably saying Bobby deserves to get out. It was over. And you have to remember, his murder is totally different than anything else. He killed Gary Henman in Topanga Canyon, which had nothing to do with Sharon Tate. It had nothing to do with Waverly Drive. It had nothing to do with Shorty Shea. It really didn't. If you ask Bobby, he's trying to fucking prospect for the fucking, the straight Satans. And he actually says this in an interview. And he's trying to impress them and do this and get them, I can get you dope. I know, somebody can get you something. Now, whether or not, okay, here's the thing. Whether or not the mescaline was bad or not, nobody will ever know, because it could have been the bikers just fucking with them, going, just tell them, the dope was bad and get the fucking money back and see if that little bitch will, give us the money, get the money back. And they could have done that. They could have punked him into trying to get the money back. I can actually see that. Let's just pretend the dope's fake, but let's just punk this fucking asshole into giving us our money, but the dope's still good. Now, if there's evidence that the dope was bad, then whatever. I don't know if Outlaw Archives is watching, but if there's any straight Satans that left that are they're probably in their 90s by now, watching, and you guys know anything about this. But anyway, so the thing with Bobby was he kills Gary Henman. Now, this has nothing to do with Deborah Tate. It has nothing to do with Sharon Tate. Bobby has nothing to do with any of that. So I don't see why Deborah Tate needs to come to Bobby's, thing. It's like, Bobby's not really, look, this has nothing to do with the Manson family. Bobby's not really in the Manson family. There really is no Manson family. That's the funny part. You guys all think there really is a Manson family, but there isn't. But people want to associate themselves with them because that's the word that everybody knows. Manson family. There is no Manson family. It was called Family Jams. They were a band and everybody played instruments, and that's what it was called. There is no family. That's a media thing. That's a total media thing. Anyway, going back to rehabilitation here. I don't know what Bobby Beausoleil has been doing in prison for the last 55 years. I mean, if you compare what he's been doing to what Leslie's been doing, to what Patricia Krenwinkel's been doing, to what Bruce Davis has been doing, then, I think we all know what Leslie did. We all know what Pat's done. We know that they have a great resume in prison, and they've done a lot of good while being incarcerated. Now, Bruce Davis Bruce Davis has the most, he's been granted parole like 6 times, way before Leslie was even, he had more fucking grants than Leslie before she got her first one. Excuse me. Yeah. So Bruce Davis should have already been out, but he's not. But he should be out. He's been granted by this professional board that says he's out. People, listen. If you're doing what you've been told to do, and the state of California says that you have the right to do this because we are giving you life with the possibility of parole, and that's the part you guys aren't even hearing. Most of you people that know anything about the Manson case, you keep forgetting about that one fucking part, with the possibility of parole, which means one day they can possibly go free, which they have. Steve Grogan's gone free. Lynette Fromey's gone free. Leslie Van Houten's gone free. Now, Bobby Beausoleil has been granted parole. Is he going to go free? A lot of people are saying no because they think Gavin Newsom's just going to say, fuck you, we're not going to, no. He's not going to say no. And you got to remember, his situation is a lot different than Leslie Van Houn's. Like I told you before earlier in the video, she sued the state of California. So anyway, so look, people, but rehabilitation is real, and you can change, and everybody is not the same. So if you were just a bad person from the first time you were bad, then I would be a bad person. Then a lot of you that are my friends that are even watching this video, and you guys know me, then obviously that I'm a bad person then. If you're just going to judge me on what I did in my past, and I can never be rehabilitated, then I must be a bad person. See, that's the problem. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking like, well, what about the victims? What about the victims? Hey, look, it's not Bobby Beausoleil's fault that he could get out. So if the victims want to be mad at anybody, they need to be mad at the state of California for putting that stipulation in there with them, saying, hey, you got life with the possibility of parole, with the possibility of parole, with the possibility of parole. Don't get mad at Bobby Beausoleil for that. Get mad at the state of California. So, I mean, look, I understand, from the victim's point of view, hey, no, I don't want my killer out. I don't want this guy. I don't want that guy out. I get it. But if the state of California puts that on there, then you can't be mad at fucking Bobby. You got to be mad at the state of California. So Stoner Van Hound here, just telling you that rehabilitation is real, and I totally believe in it. Honestly, I don't have a problem with Bobby being free. I don't have a problem with Bruce Davis being free. They were granted by a parole board that is certified by the state of California, and if they think that you're not a threat to society, then I don't see any reason why they shouldn't let you go. And that's just the way it is. All right, Stoner Van Hound here. Stoner Van Hound here. I hope you enjoyed this video about rehabilitation, and we'll see if Bobby Beausoleil gets out. But in my opinion, do I think he's really going to get out? I'm going to say no. I think Gavin Newsom's going to stop it. And I think a lot of you think the same. But we'll see what happens. I've been wrong before. So, all right. Take care, everybody. I'm out of here.